Your bathroom is scrubbed, the grout is white again, and by tomorrow the black line is back, a little longer than before. You have done this a dozen times. The bleach fumes, the old toothbrush along the seal, the re-caulking that held for maybe a season. You are not failing at cleaning. You are cleaning the wrong thing. In a Japanese home, that black line doesn't keep coming back. Not because they use a stronger product. They often use nothing you'd recognize as a cleaner at all. Because they do one thing to the room after every single bath that most people never think to do. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what that is, and you'll be able to run the full sequence yourself in under a minute. You'll also know how to clear what's already there without bleach. But first, you need to understand why the bleach keeps failing you. Because it does work. You can see that. It lightens the stain, kills what it touches. You walk away, and the grout looks clean. The problem is that bleach does absolutely nothing about the condition that made the mold grow there in the first place. Tomorrow's shower fills the room with warm moisture again. The spores that bleach couldn't reach. And there are always spores, floating in from outside, already in the air of every bathroom on Earth, settle back into that damp and start again. So the cycle runs. Scrub, bleach, fumes, a sealed room you probably shouldn't be breathing in, and 3 weeks later you're back at the grout with the same brush. You are treating the symptom on a schedule. The cause never gets touched. Here is the mechanism, and it is simpler than you might expect. Mold spores are in every bathroom. You cannot remove them, and you do not need to. What mold actually requires to grow is two things: moisture and time sitting in it. Remove either one and the spores have nothing to work with. A room that stays warm and wet for 2 or 3 hours after every shower is, in effect, a greenhouse. Everything a spore needs is right there, waiting. A room whose water is physically removed while it's still warm never gives mold the standing damp it needs to take hold. The method is not adding a chemical. It is subtracting a condition. That is the whole shift. Now here's exactly how to do it. After the last shower or bath, while the room is still warm, run a quick cool water rinse across the walls. This sounds counterintuitive, adding water to a wet room. But the cool rinse drops the surface temperature and the ambient humidity, so the room dries faster once you're done. You're resetting the starting condition. Then squeegee or wipe the walls, the glass, and the mirror. All of it, not just the shower enclosure. One pass, top to bottom. This takes about a minute if you keep a squeegee in the shower. You will feel slightly ridiculous the first time. By the third time, it's automatic. Squeegee, the shower door track. This is the step most people skip, and it is where the water always pools. That little channel sits wet for hours and feeds the seal and the sealant around it. One swipe empties it. Run the extractor fan or crack the window until the room is genuinely dry. Not just less steamy, actually dry. If your fan has a timer, set it for longer than you think you need. The fan does the heavy lifting in this whole method. Take everything off the floor and off the sill. Every bottle, every cloth, every soap dish sitting in a puddle. Hang them so air moves underneath. Standing water beneath a shampoo bottle is a mold nursery the size of a bottle cap, right at the grout line. Wring and hang the bath cloth flat. Not in a crumpled heap over the side of the tub. Flat, where air reaches it on both sides. That's the sequence. Cool rinse, wipe, track, fan, hang everything up. Done once. Every time, it removes the condition mold needs before that condition has a chance to become a problem. You are not cleaning more. You are preventing the thing that makes the cleaning necessary. Now for what's already there. Surface mold on grout and tile. The kind sitting on top of the material, not yet into it, responds well to a baking soda paste. In Japanese cleaning practice, baking soda is called juuso, and it turns up as a default household material precisely because it does real work without adding fumes to a small sealed room. Mix it into a thick paste, press it along the affected line, let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes, then scrub and rinse. Early mold, the faint first appearance before it goes fully black, often wipes away with a rubbing alcohol spray. No bleach, no fumes worth worrying about, though you should still ventilate while you work. Here is the honest edge of what any of this can do. Mold that has grown deep into old silicone sealant. Not sitting on the surface, but inside the bead, turning it black all the way through. Cannot be reached from the outside. No paste, no spray, No amount of scrubbing gets to it. That bead has to come out. Cut it away, clean and dry the gap thoroughly, and re-caulk with fresh silicone. It is the one step that cannot be shortcut, and once it is done, the daily drying habit keeps the new bead clean. The same honest limit applies to the ventilation itself. In a genuinely humid climate, or in a windowless bathroom with no meaningful airflow, a fan alone may not carry the full load. If the room simply cannot dry in a reasonable time after bathing, a dehumidifier may still be part of the picture. The method's engine is the room getting dry. If the room cannot get dry, the habit cannot compensate. The Japanese bathroom, the ofuro, the separate wet room built specifically for bathing, has this principle designed into its architecture. Squeegeeing and wiping after a bath is not a cleaning event in that context, not a chore added onto the end of the day. It is simply part of using the room, the same way turning off the tap is part of using the room. The habit is old enough that it shaped the buildings. A separate wet room, hard surfaces, ventilation, not something retrofitted later as advice. Juuso, the baking soda, follows the same thinking, a material that does the job without adding a problem of its own. A squeegee costs next to nothing and lasts for years. The electricity to run a fan for 20 minutes is negligible. Compare that to the bleach bought on repeat, the re-caulking supplies every season, and eventually a professional if the mold goes deep enough to become a remediation. Bleach works on a schedule because the condition that requires it keeps being recreated. Take the condition away and the product is no longer needed, which is also, quietly, why no one is selling you the squeegee. The sequence works. It asks 1 minute after every shower, and the trade is years of scrubbing on your knees in a room full of fumes. If you want to try it this week, keep a squeegee inside the shower enclosure so it's already there. Do the cool rinse, do one pass on every surface, hit the track, run the fan until you genuinely can't feel humidity in the room. Give it 3 weeks before you judge it. The mold that is already there will still be there until you address it with the paste or the alcohol, but the new growth will stop. The room will smell different, dry instead of faintly damp, and that smell is the thing working. The next topic in this series is the Japanese habit that keeps vegetables fresh for weeks